Kia ora and welcome to Let's Get Political. We'll be here until the election with a weekly show aimed at cutting through the spin and letting you know what's really going on as New Zealand heads to the polls. Shortly, we'll talk to Conservative Party leader Colin Craig about why he chose to enter politics and his thoughts on whether we landed on the moon. We explain the basics of MMP and take a look back at the moment we got our first female Prime Minister. But first, here's This Week in Politics. It's just 6 weeks until the election. Let's get political. It's been Winston Peters' week, with foreign land sales becoming the first big issue of the election campaign. The proposed sale of Lochinvar Station to the same Chinese company which bought the Crayfar farms has brought back buzzwords like xenophobia and catch cries like tenants in our own land.
This is a total government sellout against the interests of New Zealanders.
Labour's love-hate relationship with internet mana exploded, with Labour's man in the far north, Kelvin Davis, breaking party ranks to launch an all-out attack on Kim.com. Another week, another distraction for Labour.
We've had a good conversation and he's fully on board with where we're heading as a team.
And John Key had a little something to say about internet mana too, calling Kim.com Lila Haray's sugar daddy.
Well, they might want to
Lila
interject
Harry,
more
the
than once,
grandstand
Prime
about
Minister.
whether her sugar daddy should be extradited or not.
That's This Week in Politics.
One for a party, one for a person, one for a party.
This year's election is the first where newly enrolled teen voters won't have been born when MMP was first used in 1996. This means all of you 18-year-olds missed out on seeing months of public service ads explaining how it works.
Let's say this cape represents all the party votes and this tray is Parliament. Now, each party...
And I'm sure there are a few of you out there that were around in 1996 but still haven't figured it out. You're just too scared to ask. Don't worry, we've got your back. With MMP, you get 2 votes. One is for who you want to represent your local area or electorate. The second vote is for which political party you'd like to see in government. Once all the votes are in, the party votes are used to work out which percentage of seats in Parliament a party will get. As long as a party gets more than 5% of the party vote, then it's made it into Parliament. There are some exceptions and quirks, but we'll get to those in coming weeks. If you have any questions about MMP, tweet us at LGPNZ.
And next week, we look at what happens if you win an electorate seat but don't make the 5% threshold. December 1997, Backstreet Boys are top of the charts with As Long As You Love Me. But the ruling National Party has fallen out of love with Jim Bolger. So while Jim was out of the country, Jenny Shipley staged a coup, in the process becoming our first female leader. Here's Dan Lake.
And just like that, Jenny Shipley became New Zealand's first female Prime Minister. She replaced Jim Bolger, who had been in the job for 7 years. He spent some of that time developing the unusual habit of assuming the accents of foreign visitors.
But I will leave it to the President, if you would like now, sir, to make some comments to the journalist. Thank you, Ambassador. Ambassador Della Newman.
But with polls starting to drop, Bolger's accents getting worse, and Shipley becoming dissatisfied with the party's performance, she knew it was time to act. But she made it clear it wasn't about any personal desire to become Prime Minister.
How much was this about Jenny Shipley wanting to be Prime Minister?
Well, I can tell you that I didn't go and seek my colleagues' support. They came to me.
Mr. Speaker.
Just 3 days short of her 2-year anniversary in the job, Shipley and her national government were defeated by New Zealand's next female Prime Minister, Helen Clark.
Over the next 6 weeks, we'll be chatting with some of the more interesting characters seeking your vote on September 20th, why politics is important to them and why it should matter to you. This week, Dan catches up with controversial Conservative Party leader Colin Craig.
Hi there, I'm Colin Craig, leader of the Conservative Party. We're here at the Black Gold Cafe, which is just up the road from our campaign headquarters, and it's a great place to grab a cup of tea.
Let's start with landing on the moon. What's your opinion?
Well, I've always thought that we did. And if you look at I think I've done 5 or 6 media interviews on that, and every single one that's what I've said. And I have had somebody who stopped their car in the middle of the street, held up the traffic, came running up to me and go, "Oh, Colin, I just wanted to check. Do you really think we didn't go to the moon?" I said, no. I said, "What do you think?" He said, "Oh, no, I think you probably think we did." And I said, "Of course I do."
What about chemtrails?
Yeah, another interesting one, because I really knew nothing about them. I've learned a little bit more now, but I think the proposal that somehow people are being sprayed something out the back of passenger liners is flawed. But I've never felt that it's my job to sort of be the thought police.
Why do you think that people, especially young people, should care about what happens in Wellington in Parliament?
Well, I think a couple of reasons. Number one, it does make a difference who makes the laws in our country. And I think secondly, and I understand the difficulty for young people, but there is a sense in which you need leadership in a nation, you need a direction, and you have to go forward, and it will be a better nation for it. And it does mean thinking a little bit outside what I'm doing on Saturday when voting comes up. It's a bit more about what we as a nation want to achieve and what we as communities and families want to achieve.
That's all for Let's Get Political this week. Any questions, tweet us at LGPNZ. Next time we talk to Jacinda Ardern as she labours Helen Clark 2.0, and we'll also try to explain MMP. How hard can it be? I'm Tova O'Brien. See you then.